God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference.
By 1908, all medications as well as cigarettes and alcohol were on their way to becoming regulated. The Opium Act, passed the same year, established the first drug ban. Concerns regarding non-medical drug usage were collected into the Opium and Drug Act in 1911. It expanded the list of drugs prohibited from non-medical use to include morphine and cocaine, as well as enhanced penalties for trafficking. Substance addiction is on the rise all across the globe, and Canada is no exception. While the opioid crisis has affected every region of the country, the provinces of British Columbia and Alberta have bore the brunt of the burden.
Breaking away from addiction involves taking things one step at a time. You are not required to do it correctly the first time. Do you have that one person in your life whose love never wavers, whose presence can make you laugh even when you're not in the mood to smile? What if you woke up tomorrow to discover that they had become just another name on the list of people who have died as a result of the opioid crisis?
While the Canadian government spends 73% of its yearly budget on the drug war, just 6% is spent on prevention and harm reduction combined, with the remaining 14% going toward treatment.
On November 3rd, 2020, my worst nightmare occurred. Red and blue lights illuminated the street as I saw my neighbor's heart break. She grabbed my hand as I lifted her from the snow-covered ground, and her tears landed on my shoe. It was at that point I discovered her son, my closest friend, had become a prisoner of his own addiction.
September 24th is a significant day in my family. It is the anniversary of my papa's death, my mom's dad. All of my life, I have known that many of my family members have struggled with addiction, including myself. Last year, on September 24th, 2020, my uncle, the oldest of my mom's siblings, went to the hospital because he was having chest pains. Little did he know he was about to have a heart attack. Thankfully, he was able to make it to the hospital in time, but only to be resuscitated and left in a long-term coma until December that same year. The doctors did many tests and found out that he was accidentally detoxing on his own during his sleep based on his blood tests. The pain that he was feeling in his chest was a result of his organs failing, leaving him with long-term effects and having to continue his hospital stay until late March this year. Thankfully, he was able to make it in time. If he was even just a few minutes later, enough to be stopped at a red light, the doctors say that he wouldn't be here with us today. He has a long road ahead to heal and work on his addiction. My aunt says that there have been times when she would wake up in the middle of the night out of breath and sweating, but other than that, he was able to act relatively normal. He just never said anything to anyone, and he was able to hide it for the last 10 years since his father's death. We're extremely grateful for all of the hospital staff who were able to help him and keep him alive. It is important to recognize that the addictions surround us. The War on Drugs is a global campaign that helps to reduce the drug trade in North America. The opioid crisis is a worldwide problem, and this video is to help bring awareness that it is not just overdosing that can kill you, but it is detoxing too.
Canada is experiencing an unparalleled drug overdose epidemic, with British Columbia bearing the brunt of the crisis. Unintentional illicit drug toxicity fatalities are at an all-time high in British Columbia, as the province witnessed 1,724 drug overdose deaths in 2020, an increase of 74% from 2019.
Never be a prisoner of your past. It was just a lesson, not a life sentence. Because our lives begin to end the day we become silent about the things that matter.